United Way of Onslow County and Volunteer Onslow are proud to announce the third year of an expansion of the Golden Rule Lightkeeper Awards that recognize our caring community's unsung heroes. For 19 years, the Volunteer Center, housed with United Way, has recognized our community's outstanding volunteers. Most recently, United Way created a partnership with the Daily News to feature area lightkeepers who have been nominated by the community for the Golden Rule Award. This partnership has significantly grown the award ceremony into our community's highest volunteer honor. United Way and the Golden Rule Awards have been supported by the generosity of Jones Onslow Electric Membership Corporation, who have sponsored the awards since their inception. In 2017, the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee created a pinnacle honor to a special class of individuals. These are persons whose service represents a lifelong commitment that have advanced citizenship, community infrastructure, and encouragement of the community. The award is named the Fabric of Our Community Award. To speak more on the Civic Affairs Committee's vision of this honor, I turn it over to Committee Chairman Don Herring.
Since 1999, the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee has provided leadership in the civic education and empowerment to our community. During the recognition of the far-reaching effects of the Beirut bomb blast of 1983, our community recognized that the fabric of our community had been torn by the loss of so many in that single day. So interwoven were those who were lost that day that our community suffered not only the incredible loss of the potential of these lives, that we also, as a civic entity, lost the valuable contributions to our civic infrastructure. The committee wishes to recognize persons or organizations who perform actions that improve the fabric of our community, and by such undertakings or actions previously mentioned. These actions are not intended to recognize a single year of work, but a body of work that could span several years or a lifetime. Today, we announce the 2019 Fabric of Our Community Award winners who will be honored at the upcoming Golden Rule Lightkeepers Award on February 21st, 2019. Today, our first individual, Lewis Sewell. This morning, Mr. Lewis Sewell is receiving a Fabric of Community Award posthumously for his service and support to our citizens of Onslow County. So proud of his heritage of being from Jacksonville that Lewis frequently said that he cannot sleep well when away from this beloved city. A former middle school principal, he used savings to help launch Golden Corral with a childhood friend from Jacksonville who also had left. His greatest benefit to the community and his legacy will be his use of acquired influence to bring awareness to the needs for his community and to others. Lewis Sewell returned to Jacksonville and Onslow County to attend to the attention of Raleigh and Washington legislators. It was his work that caused them to come to our community and his influence that caused them to remember Jacksonville and Onslow County through their support. His financial contributions were savvy to demand attention to those causes, and his persistent nature manifested them into roads, buildings, and other support projects of our community. His personal service, including that on the Onslow Hospital Authority, also demanded attention. His love of the downtown found him supporting and speaking out frequently on downtown issues. Mostly, he lobbied behind the scenes, but he was not fearful of a podium at City Hall or the county courthouse. He believed in his community, investing in projects, programs, and entities that he believed needed to sustain and foster this community. He left behind charity and empowerment that rest in part with his family. His charitable influences are felt today and through a family endowment which continues to benefit the community he loved.
Sergeant Major Joel Hull, United States Marine Corps, retired. A well-honored service member whose presence is legendary within the community as the Sergeant Major. Few public events occur without some involvement of this ever-present volunteer. His storied services with his beloved Marine Corps is enough to honor this man who continues to serve the Marine Corps as a passionate leader in the Museum of the Marines. This Purple Heart recipient teaches young Marines about their history, mostly by sharing personal accounts, his service in Vietnam, where he was thrust into a leadership position the day after he arrived. He quietly serves with flag details, with tributes to those who have also served, and in honor of those who died recently in service. He is also an active and longtime member of the Chamber's Military Affairs Committee and is a fish frying professional at the Fish Fries on base. Many local festivals and parades count on him every year. The Chamber's Christmas Holiday Parade, the Veterans Day Parade, the Mullet Festival in Swansboro, and the former Riverwalk Palooza, and any Rotary event, they're all very lucky to have him as a resource. He loves to introduce young active duty Marines to volunteerism in the community. He cares for them, but he also teaches them about the organizations they are helping. From river cleanups to sophisticated black tie events, the Sergeant Major leads and continues to lead. He embodies the concept of such a deep involvement in the community that his absence would produce a ripple in our community fabric.
Reverend Joel Churchill. Bridge in military service with religious leadership for a historical church, the Reverend Joel Churchwell has reached out from the pulpit to provide leadership, representation, and benevolence to his community. A former active duty Marine, Reverend Churchwell demonstrated leadership and also learned physical management skills while excelling as a second-generation Marine leader. In 2003, while still in service, he was called to preach. He served for 24 years, retiring as a staff sergeant. He serves as the pastor for Sandy Run Missionary Baptist Church. Outside the church, his service has included being the chair of the Jacksonville Weed and Seed Committee, where he provided valuable leadership for efforts to weed out the cause of the crime in troubled neighborhoods. He has also served on the United Way of Onslow County Board, the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, the Board of Directors for the Department of Social Services, on the Consolidated Human Services Advisory Board, and as a member of the Onslow County School Quality Council team. He has also volunteered with the Guardian Ad Litem program, 4th Judicial District. His ministry has provided significant leadership in the African American community and the Onslow County Board of Education. For his continued service to our community and his integral leadership with our community, we acknowledge him as a person who is part of the fabric of our community. Thank you.
Abe Rosen. The Beirut bombing of October 23, 1983 is central to the creation of this award. The award comes from the ripple created by the loss of so many community members on that day and the subsequent reaction within our community. The special efforts that grew from that fall day caused the Beirut trees to be planted and the Beirut Memorial to be constructed. But it was not easy to finish that project. After the initial flourish of national attention, the effort to fund the Beirut Memorial had stalled. Funds were on hand to do most of the work, but the initial enthusiasm across the country had waned a bit, and someone was needed to help reinvigorate the program and take across the finish line. Abe Rosen, well known in the community, was called upon by then Mayor George Jones and committee chairperson Doris Downs to help push the project ahead. Abe organized groups and helped to finish the fundraising. It was his personal touch that successfully funded the project. He continues service today with his leadership of the Beirut Memorial Advisory Board, where he advocates for the victims and families of those for whom the memorial honors. For more than 25 years, he was the narrator and master of ceremony for the annual observances. He helped to select the speakers, the music, and took special steps to always keep the families and loved ones of those who perished as a result of that bombing in the front and center of all actions. He also worked to keep the memory of organizer Doris Downs in the front of the project. For leadership that continues today for such an integral part of our community, Abe Rosen is declared to be part of the fabric of our community.
Leon Ward Sylvester Jr., posthumously. A lifetime of benevolence and charity has marked a lifetime of Ward Sylvester Jr. His signature grocery store became such a piece of the fabric of Richlands that everyone knew where the pig was. The store has been the center of the community and of the area that most any noteworthy activity involved included this landmark. It was the vision and action of Leon Ward Sylvester Jr. that created his legacy and his actions of charity, caring, and political involvement that grew from his efforts. A passionate fan of UNC, where he graduated, he was a faithful and devoted husband and father to his family. He was an active member of the Richlands United Methodists and a significant supporter of Methodist camps, where young people could ponder their future while having fun. He passed in 2016, and in his wake, most noted the influence that he had, particularly in the Richlands area. His work for economic development was countywide, and his influence was also. For his contributions to creating and sustaining the fabric of our community, we acknowledge the life and the work of Ward Sylvester Jr.
Congratulations to the 2019 class of Fabric of Our Community honorees. We look forward to formally recognizing the winners at the upcoming Golden Rule Lightkeepers Award, to which the public is very much invited. The event is February 21st, 2019. The event will take place at the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel in Jacksonville from noon until 1:30 p.m. Registration tickets are available at uwonslow.org. Thank you for joining us today as we recognize the power of partnership among United Way, the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee, the Daily News, and Jones Onslow EMC to honor our community's heart of service.